I'm Travis Williams. Over the past month, I've been doing a little research on special education students and their inclusion in school sponsored sports. I've done this mainly because I grew up in an area where special education students or special needs students were very active when it came to student school led sports. And so I wanted to find out exactly what the effects were and see what was out there as far as how does this impact the student? How does this impact the other students involved in the sport? Kind of, is this a good thing? Is it a bad thing? What happens when you do something like this? So I got on the internet, started looking some stuff up, and I didn't find anything. Looked through Twitter, looked through Facebook. Not a whole lot of research has been done, not a whole lot of evidence is out there. So I began to narrow my study down a little bit. Actually, the best place I found to research anything was on YouTube, where I found a lot of different clips, most of which had to deal with autistic students. So I decided to narrow my focus down to just autism. Now, autism, the autism spectrum, is huge, and it's got so many different layers, so many different aspects to it that it's really, you can't really narrow that down to one case study. You really just have to look at the entire scope of them, and even then, it's really hard to figure out what exactly you have. Well, to start out with, I decided to look for the commonalities that I would find out there, see what different case studies had in common. And the general, I guess, most common thing I found was that there really wasn't a negative result, at least not one that was voiced by any of the websites or any of the places that I checked. In fact, autismspeaks.com, they listed that it was very positive for very positive results from autistic students being involved in sports, whether they were just playing or whether they were just involved with some type of team management role. The idea of being active led for them to be allowed them to be more social, to develop more social skills, allowed them a vehicle to relate to other students better. Also, autistic, I believe autisticunited.org, they also they came up with a list of different activities that you, if you are a parent of an autistic child, may want to get them involved in. So there's some different options out there, but the commonality was that all these things were very positive. Everybody liked the idea. Now, as I started to look into case studies and look at students that actually had participated, I decided to focus more on the older kids, more on teenage level activities. But what I found even then was that it was so different from case to case that it was really hard to determine exactly one set of boundaries, one set of rules, one set of standards to go by. Just taking football players in general, you've got two kids. You got Ryan or Trusky. He's an autistic student who actually ended up scoring a touchdown in a game. Now, the deal with Ryan is that Ryan could not have any contact. He was allowed to participate, but on a very scaled back way. Where he was kind of limited, and everybody kind of knew that it was a special situation. Now, the other end of that spectrum, another autistic student, Corbin Hale, well, he may actually get to play college football somewhere. He's done so well on the high school level, playing full contact, playing just like everybody else, so that he may, in fact, play at the next level. So you've got two different perspectives there, just in football and just in the idea of contact, and just different sides of or different aspects of the autism spectrum. Now, another reason this is used a lot of times, another reason that people push for specifically autistic students to participate in some type of sporting athletic activity is to give them an opportunity to socialize, to give them a vehicle to relate better to other students, and just the opportunity to relate to other students. Most of these fall kind of in the realm of Jason McElwain, the autistic student that was actually he was a student manager of the team, and then they let him go in during the last game of the season, and he proceeded to light it up and set some school records, 3-pointers in that game. Pretty amazing story there. But the main reason I think he was a part of that team was for socialization, and he made a lot of friends. He became very popular. I would dare say that his socialization in school was greatly enhanced simply because he participated as part of the basketball team. Now, on the other side of that, you've got this kid, Tyler May, who's a golfer, and he used golf as his therapy, but he didn't really use it to help him socialize at all. Golf helped him get through things. Golf helped him deal with things, but not necessarily from the aspect of making more friends, not for the reason of being more social. So you've got kind of two different reasons there. Now, I just bring up those differences within the autism spectrum, those differences within sports, and the different results to say that that's probably why there's not a whole lot of case studies out there. One of the goals of my thesis project is to look at some individual case studies, and I believe they will have to be looked at on an individual basis. We're not going to find a group of common rules. We're going to have to look at each individual case and just see what happens. But I would like to find out exactly how either being a participant in school sponsored sports or helping out in some other role, such as a team manager, how does that impact the student? And more so, how does that affect the other students that are around them? How does it impact them? So that's my thesis project. If you have any thoughts, any suggestions, feel free to email me, feel free to tweet me, feel free to just get in contact with me in some way, and also be sure to check out the poll on the page. Thank you, and have a good day.